Hello everyone, I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the end of the week. If you're watching this today, the day I posted it, which is Friday, which means it is Friday face-off time. I love doing these videos. They are every other Friday. I put out a video every Friday, but every other Friday is Friday face-off. And today is a pretty fun one, I have to say. These are two products that I think I was using them incorrectly, or at least I had false expectations of what I thought these two products should do. We are talking about tinted brow gel. However, if you're like me, you might have thought that tinted brow gel just meant that they added some tint and it was sort of like a mascara for your eyebrows. However, that's really not the case. The more I looked into these two products, these two specifically, these two brands, I learned that they're really supposed to be adding some fullness and some volume to your brow. So not unlike adding a false lash to your eyelashes, these should be looking as though you've got almost a false brow. That is, the marketing does not say they create a false brow, but the marketing in both of these say that it should give a fuller volume to each individual hair. So what two brands am I talking about? Well, when you think about eyebrows, there's probably two brands that really come front of mind. Number one, Anastasia of Beverly Hills. I mean, she started her career doing eyebrows, so I kind of think of that brand as a leader in all things brow. And one of the number one selling brands when it comes to eyebrow products is none other than Benefit. So those are the two that we are going to talk about today. I've got two brand new ones here. This one is the Dip Brow Gel from Anastasia of Beverly Hills. This one is the Benefit, hold it correctly, the Benefit Gimme Brow Plus Tinted Volumizing Eyebrow Gel. Yes, it is one of those long names that you know how I struggle with them. But we're going to unpackage these, we're going to get into the specifics, and then we're going to do the wear test because both say they're long wearing. So can they make our more mature, sparse eyebrows look rejuvenated, fresh, and youthful? Well, that's not really what they say they'll do, but they do say that they're going to add volume, and that's really what we're looking for. So let's put them to the test and see how they do. All right, first things first, on the Anastasia of Beverly Hills, this sells for $20 and has 4.4 stars with over 4,100 reviews on the Ulta website. This one says it's long wearing and waterproof up to 12 hours. It's also cruelty free, and it says that it dries down seamlessly to a matte finish. Fill in from the front of the brow toward the arch using the remaining product on the wand. Brush in the direction of natural hair growth. For fuller coverage, let's just go full coverage right off the bat. For fuller coverage, brush the gel through the brows a second time to create hair-like strokes. Yes, please. Okay, pro tips. Dip Brow Gel works great on brows that already have full hair. Okay. However, the formula also works well on brows that have everything from fine hair to full hair, smooth hair to thick, unruly hair, and can even fill in areas of sparseness. Here we are. That's what we'd like, please. Create the look of full feathered brows on any brow type by brushing the wide side of the spoolie through the brows in an upward motion. Okay, the wide side of the spoolie. Okay, so you can see that the spoolie is tapered, and you can see that it's wide as it goes closer to the centerpiece, but it does get thin, almost like a Christmas tree. That's what I would say. Okay, then we've got for white hair, gray hair, or colored hair, select the Dip Brow Gel shade that most closely matches the natural hair color. All right, I think we got it. So the brows are combed, sort of, and we are going to take the brush, just like it says, and I want to go back to see what it says it's supposed to do for us. It's a highly pigmented brow gel featuring a long-lasting waterproof formula for creating fuller-looking defined brows. The unique formula adheres to brow hairs, builds the appearance of fullness, and dries down to a seamless matte finish. Okay, I guess what I'm hoping to achieve is that my brows look fuller and not sparse. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm hoping to achieve. I should probably understand what my goal is here. My goal would be to have my pre-plucked 17-year-old eyebrows back, is for 20 bucks. If we could do that, then Friday Face Off would be a hit. Okay, I don't need to color that one blonde hair that wants to just keep coming there. It is very easy to apply. It doesn't appear to be chunky on the brush. It's a very small brush, as you can see, which probably makes it a lot easier to work with, so then you don't get messes. And I do feel like my brows look thicker. Not Groucho Marx thick, but thicker than they were when we started. Now I can see already that what I think I would need to do is go in with a concealer and just clean that up, because I like a nice straight line around my brows. I don't like such a soft, smoked out look with my brows. I like to have that just in my eyeshadow. But I would have to say that if we're looking side by side, that brow to that brow, there is definitely some volume there. Okay, not a bad looking brow. I am gonna take a little bit of concealer. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer, and I am gonna just clean up the brow because it's hard for me to evaluate if I like it or not when it looks very, it looks like I've added a lot of Miracle-Gro to it and it has started to grow. And so for that, I have to clean it up a little bit. And then I can evaluate whether we like how it looks or not. It was fast and easy compared to a pencil and going in and creating, you know, all the little pencil marks. So I do like that. And I think once you sharpen the edges and clean those up a little bit, I mean, that I do feel like the brow is definitely more full. If you're one of those people that likes a real clean eye look, but you like a little bit heavier brow and like a bold red lip, something like this would really help you pull off that look. So let's take a look at the benefit side now, and if need be, I will clean it up as well with a little bit of concealer. On the benefit side, I have it in color Neutral Light Brown, which is color number 3. Now, comparatively, it is smaller. This is 0.15 ounces. This is 0.10 ounces. This is $20. This is $26. So right off the bat, this one is a better value. Not only does it cost $6 less, you get 50% more. So there's that going for it. The Benefit Gimme Brow Plus Tinted Volumizing Eyebrow Gel has 4.7 stars out of over 16,500 reviews at the time of this video upload. That is a lot of really positive reviews. And a lot of what people said about this is that it lasted for a long time and that it looked very natural and that it was very easy to apply. So I love all those reasons and I hope it works that well, because if we can go from this to something resembling this in just a few strokes of a brush versus a lot of strokes of a pencil to create a lot of hair, then that would be awesome. Now this one, in terms of marketing, says that it volumizes, tames, and tints brows. This one says water resistant, where this one says waterproof. So just know that. This one also says it's buildable and it leaves natural looking brows. The marketing of this one also says that it is a mess proof application and boosts brow volume in an instant. Why is that so hard to say? I don't know. All right, so I feel like we need to do a roundup again. 20 bucks, 0.15 ounces, cruelty-free, 11 shades. That's a lot to love. 0.1 ounce, $26, not cruelty-free, 10 shades. All right, the marketing on this one says that the tinted volumizing eyebrow gel contains tiny microfibers that adhere to skin and hairs, creating natural looking fullness and definition. Okay, so it's almost like tubing mascara, I would think, but it says that it is supposed to adhere to skin as well as hair. That would be awesome. I mean, if it works that well, why don't we have the same formula as a mascara? But we're gonna see. The custom tiny tapered brush provides an easy mess-proof application and boosts brow volume in an instant. Thin brows, skimpy brows, solved. Using short pressing motions, stroke the precision tip brush along your brows to define shape and add instant volume. Comb through to blend and build natural looking fullness. Beauty tip. Start your look with Benefit's best-selling Precisely My Brow Pencil for expertly full and defined brows. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that. The pro tip says for the best results, put this over a penciled eyebrow. Well, it costs more and I didn't have to do that here, therefore it saves me time. Is my brow gonna be that much fuller that it's going to warrant me using two products when I'm trying to minimize, try to downsize my products. So we're not gonna do that. I wanna see side by side, how is it gonna work next to this one where we did not pencil the brow. And if you have to pencil first and then use this, I'm not seeing the benefit, but that's the pro tip. Okay, I would like it to work without it. Okay, right off the bat, you can see how small that brush is. Now compared to the Anastasia of Beverly Hills brush, this is not in any type of a Christmas tree shape, a round hedge perhaps. Okay, so there's the brow before and says press on skin and hair. So we're pressing. And I'm gonna go in the direction of the hair like the other one said to do. Okay, that's also a nice looking brow. And was it mess proof? I would say yes. It is a little harder. I wanna see if it'll stick to my skin right there in the center. Oops. Well, it'll stick right there in the center, but let's now take that off. Yeah, I can just wipe that away. I want to create that little false part right in the center and see how easy that is to do. Can't really use it this way because brows don't grow that way. Okay, just takes a few extra strokes. All right, well, I don't know here. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit more like Groucho Marx than I did pre-application of either of these two products. I do feel like I had less to clean up on this side than I did on the Anastasia Beverly Hills side, and that could be in part because of the size of those two brushes. The application brush on the Anastasia Beverly Hills is larger, and it did make the application more quick. I did feel like there was more of a mess to clean up. I'm not sure I have too big of a mess to clean up on this side. I would probably just straighten the edge. Up and down. I'll blend that in. I won't leave it like that because no one wants to see that. But, I mean, so they're both nice looking brows. I mean, what do you guys think? You'll have to, let me clean this one up before I have you evaluate. Getting the shape is not as easy with these as it is with a regular brush. But it just probably just takes practice like anything else. Using an eyelash curler wasn't exactly easy when we first did it, but like everything else, you get into the habit, just makes it a little faster. I guess what I'm wondering is, are my brows thicker or are they just darker? And maybe the answer is a little bit of both. So I'm gonna let those kind of, I'm fanning my brows. We've just become so high maintenance. But I wanna see how these feel once they're a little bit more dry. Do they feel stiff? So far they don't. Both claim to have a natural look, a seamless look, and they do look natural-ish. I think this side feels a little bit thick to me, but it's almost as if the color's too dark, and I wonder if I had a lighter color if I would feel that way, or is it more that it's thick? I feel like maybe it's too thick. I feel like it did stick to my skin, and so there's less skin showing through. That makes sense. It just looks more solid of a brow, which is not my preferred look. Now, if you do have really sparse brows and you do need a thicker look, a more solid look, then this one's probably right out the gate a better option because it did provide just a more thick brow. They don't feel stiff. I don't feel like nothing's coming off my brows. It's interesting that neither of these claim to be transfer proof. Now, water resistant, waterproof, so maybe that's where we'll get some of that lack of transfer. But yeah, it's not transferring onto my hands, so we shall see. Here's what they look like fresh after application. And here's what both look like 8 hours later. I didn't quite make the 12 hours, although Anastasia Beverly Hills, I would say, could last another 4 hours if we really needed it to. I don't need to push my eyebrows to 12 hours, but if the marketing says it, I want to know if it really works or not. Well, here we go. Here's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, in fairness, I am oily in the T-zone area. So for a product to sit on my skin that's not a foundation, that's not really formulated to sit on oily skin, I was really curious to see how these were gonna hold up, especially because the benefit one says that you can put it right on skin and it's supposed to work on skin. I do feel that I'm not like excessively oily. I'm probably below average when it comes to the amount of oil. Now, 20 years ago, I might have been right in there with above average with my oily skin, but that also has diminished with time. However, it is still oily. So based on how much this one has worn off, I do think if you have oily skin, it's like average oily skin, I don't know that the Benefit one would be a good alternative for you, because I do feel like it has sort of smudged, I guess is the best word, worn off a little bit. And I did not have my glasses on a whole lot today. I do think that if you wore glasses and the frame of your glasses was touching this and you had oily skin, I'm just not sure it would hold up. Now, I have no proof of that other than how I've tested it today, and that is with oily skin without frames. But I don't see it getting better with frames, so there's that. In terms of the Anastasia Beverly Hills side, I think that it looks pretty darn good. I think the color is too dark for me. I went with taupe. I should have went with blonde. And when I was in the store testing them, I did think that the blonde looked too warm. So I will need to go back to the store and really work through those colors to find which one is best for me. But once I do find a color, I do think that I would use this application process because it was very quick, and that's a nice looking brow. It is natural, it is matte, and it has held up in its position pretty much the duration of the day. Well, so then the question becomes, which one is the winner of today's Friday face-off? You guys could probably tell early on. I was curious to see how they were gonna wear, so I was definitely gonna hold my opinion until we got through a good portion of the day to see. This one would have had to have failed quite a bit for it to have lost its number one footing. So for me, the Anastasia of Beverly Hills is definitely the better choice. A, you get 50% more product than you do in the Benefit for $6 less. B, it's cruelty-free. And C, I felt like it wore better throughout the course of the day. And again, if you have oily skin, I don't know that this one would be really a good alternative. And their pro tip was to put it on over your eyebrow pencil, which sort of defeats the purpose in my opinion. So there you have it. That is the results of today's Friday face-off. This is a product that I don't usually reach for. I am a eyebrow pencil clear gel kind of person, but I do think now that I've seen how well this works, once I find the right color, this is a time saver. I don't need to do the pencil and then the clear gel. I just need 1 or 2 coats of this and I'm good to go. So I learned something in this video. I hope it helped you make a decision on if one of these is better than the other for you, or if you even need this one or not. But if you have sparse eyebrows and some that are just different colors and you want to have a more uniform look, I think we've got a couple options. One is much better than the other. Well, that does it for me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this version of Friday Face Off, and I will see you in just a couple days.